Sheria kama kawaida. This time around we decided to have a serious conversation on gender-based violence, just to get the finer details of that. And of course, in studio we have two amazing ladies.
We're with Prudence Butiso from the Center for Reproductive Rights, and of course Elizabeth Kishohi from FIDA Kenya, and we're discussing 16 days of activism against gender-based violence. We're putting it in context. We're looking at the extent, what often goes ignored, and then where do we move from here? You know, are our laws sufficient? Is enough being done? Of course, the answer to that one is no, but what more can we do? And I know, Brian, you'd asked them to contextualize what GBV looks like right now in Kenya, in Africa. And I want to say, with economic times prevailing, I think that's also something that we need to take into account, because whenever things like COVID happen, whenever, you know, guess who bears the brunt? I'll begin with Prudence. Perhaps if you can give us context of what gender-based violence looks like on the continent and in Kenya right now.
Thanks, Miriam. So GBV still remains a significant issue in Kenya, in Africa, and around the world. I do recall when the pandemic happened, the UN Women was reporting that 243 million women across the world experienced, certain forms of gender-based violence. The Kenya Demographic Health Survey of 2022 showed that 40% of women and girls had experienced a form of physical or sexual violence, in the last couple of years. When you read further into that particular report, it shows that 1 in every 5 girls has experienced a form of sexual violence or is at risk of child marriage. And so it remains a very constant and worrying issue in society. And again, gender-based violence does only affect women and girls. It's also affecting men and boys. You go to court nowadays, there's so many cases that are being reported on sexual violence against boys. Few men are coming out, to speak against gender-based violence that they're facing, but most of them are choosing to remain silent, but it is happening.